What's going on, guys? Thank you for tuning back into the Chaos Lair. I am Chris Chaos, and somebody call my mama. That's all I got to say. After last night, look, Brodus Clay, I got to say, the character's fantastic, okay? I love it, okay? Because let's look at the landscape of WWE and the monster type that we have, type characters that we have. Always have The Undertaker, Mysterious, and whatever. Kane now has returned. Mark Henry. The Big Show at times can be, if you piss him off enough, and he'll knock you out with that right hand. And then Sheamus, who has a bad attitude. And, of course, now we have the Barrett Barrage. Look, it's smart. WWE did a smart thing at the at the 11th hour, changing up Brodus Clay, because to my knowledge, nobody knew this was coming. He hadn't been on house shows with this gimmick, as far as I know. It hadn't been reported, so I hadn't seen it. Nobody else was talking about it. So it was great. I liked it because what it does is it mixes two characters very well. It mixes what I consider, it mixes Rikishi and Ernest the Cat Miller, who, by the way, he used Ernest the Cat Miller's WWE theme last night in his debut. Just a quick note, though. Brodus Clay, now known as the Funk-asaurus. The two dancers that were with him were Cameron Lynn and Naomi. Now, for those of you that fail to remember, Naomi finished second in the third season of NXT, the female NXT, the only one we've had. While Cameron Lynn, whose real name is Ariane Andrews, was the first contestant that was cut from last season's Tough Enough. And both performers still appear by way of FCW. We'll just put that aside. That just adds their just dancing or whatever coming out with him, that adds to the character. And yeah, we've kind of already seen this with Ernest the Cat, but it's different because this guy, like I said, I mimic a Rikishi because a bigger guy coming out there dancing, having fun, that's just what it looks like. I think it's great. I laughed my ass off last night during this. Of course, I wasn't tweeting. During Raw, I was watching the football game, unfortunately. I guess a roll tide is a custom for right now, for those of you who care. I hate Alabama, but congratulations if your school is Alabama and they won the national title. I hated the game. But I didn't see what everybody was saying about this. So I'm curious to know, and I didn't go back on Twitter and look because yesterday was a horrible day on many, many fronts. So I'm curious to know what everybody thought about it. So leave me a comment, send me a message on Twitter, let me know what you really think of the Brodus Clay character. Now, I will say this much. The Brodus Clay character, it's kind of messed up that they did these vignettes for him and build him as the monster that they had originally was going to go with him, and then at the 11th hour it just seems like they changed it up. I don't know if this was planned, if they were trying to get things in place for him to make this Funk-asaurus debut, if you will, but hey, it worked. I liked it. I think it's over. But, what do you think? In the end, you guys are going to be the ones that really either run with this or band together against this. So, what do you have to think? I don't care as far as whether you think it was good or bad, unless you give me reasons why. So that's what really I'm looking for, is why you think it's good or bad. But anyway, until next time, deuces. I will see you guys a little bit later. Stay tuned. I have more videos coming up today. And I will holla at you later. Chaos is out.